Hi guys, today for homework you are adding and subtracting fractions with unlike units numerically. So all that means is that we're adding and subtracting fractions with different denominators, but we're finding the same denominator by using multiplication. So yesterday we were doing it drawing out the area models. Today we're just doing it with multiplication. Now, on your homework, you're going to notice that it might say decompose to make like units. Whenever they say to decompose, it means you have to multiply to find the common denominator. So if I'm looking at this problem, it's 2/4 plus 3/12. That means I have to multiply to find the same denominator. So I'm going to start off by squaring off 2/4. Because I know if I'm multiplying, I want to go from a small number to a big number. So I know I can think in my head, 4 times what number is 12? And if I know my times tables, I should know that 4 times 3 will be 12. Right? And again, we're doing that to the 4 because we want to make it into 12. Okay? Now, all we do is we copy down the same fraction we squared off and we multiply by 3 so that we can change the denominator to 12. So I'm going to put equals to 2/4. And whatever you multiply to the bottom denominator, you have to do to the numerator. And I already know I have to multiply times the 3. So times 3 and times 3. And then you just multiply across. So 2 times 3 is 6. And 4 times 3 is 12. And now I have my new fraction. Now, with this new fraction, it's like you're replacing it with the one that we squared. So I'm going to rewrite my problem now. Remember, you need to write it in the same order. So notice 2/4 was first, so that means I need to write my new fraction 6/12 first. Then all I do is I copy down the fraction I did not square, so plus 3/12. And see, now your denominators are the same, so now you can add. 6 plus 3 is 9. And remember, you never ever change your denominators when you are adding and subtracting. It stays the same. So our answer, ta-da, is 9/12. Okay. And that's all we have to do when we want to decompose, right? Decomposing to find a common denominator of 12. Right? Now, sometimes in your homework, you might see that they ask you to compose to find like units. Whenever they ask you to compose, that means they want you to divide. So I'm going to go ahead and write out divide for us. And this time, before we were starting off with the fraction with the smaller denominator. But now we have to start with the fraction with the larger denominator because we're dividing. Remember, dividing means we go from a big number to a small number. So we're actually going to start off for this problem 2/4 plus 3/12 by squaring off my fraction with the larger denominator. And again, it's because I need to divide. Now you just have to think to yourself, what is 12 divided by that number that they give you there? So 12 divided by 4, or by the other denominator, right? If this confuses you, write it as a multiplication, right? You can think 4 times what number is 12? And if we know our times tables, we should know that 4 times 3 is 12. And because 4 times 3 is 12, then that means 12 divided by 4 is 3. Okay? So now we know we need to divide by 3. Now, just like we did in this first problem, we can write our big equal sign. And we copy down the fraction that we squared, 3/12. This time, instead of multiplying like we did up here, we now divide by that 3 that we figured out. And again, just like before, whatever you do to your denominator, you have to do to your numerator. So I'm dividing by 3 for both. Now we know 12 divided by 3 is 4. And 3 divided by 3 is 1. And now that's our new fraction, our equivalent fraction. We changed 3/12 to be 1/4 because we want the fractions to have the same denominator. We wanted them to have the same denominator of 4. Now I'm going to go ahead and copy down my new equation. And again, remember, because my 2/4 was first, I'm going to write that first. I'm going to write 2/4 plus my new fraction that I made. I know 3/12 is equal to 1/4, so I write out 1/4. And now all we have to do is add. 2 plus 1 is 3. And remember, our denominators never change when we add or subtract, so it stays as 4. And ta-da! We have our answer. Right, now sometimes they are going to ask you to subtract in the main problem. You follow all of the same steps except in that last step, when you write and copy down your new fraction, all you would have to do is subtract. So for example, if this was 2/4 minus 3/4, all you would do is you would write 2/4, your minus sign, 1/4, and you would have subtracted. So 2 minus 1 would have been 1, and your denominator would have stayed as 4. All right, hope this video helps, and see you tomorrow. Bye.